Man, so I was starting the live and let me oh, echo. Um, I started hearing something tapping, tap, tap, tapping, tap, tap, tapping just now. So I just wanted to. Oh, am I in here? Hold on. It says I'm live and y'all can hear me, but I can't see nothing on here. Hold on, let's see. Let me go to live chat. There we go. There we go. Now we're in live chat. I couldn't see anything. It wasn't showing me anything. So yeah, there we go. Now it's moving. Now it's moving. Now it's moving. Now it is moving. Man, I'm gonna go ahead and catch up with the chat right quick. I ain't gonna hold the phone too much on this one, man. So shout out to everybody. Joel, what's going on, man? Set of the day, Simone Androli Tulum Junglescape. Tulum Junglescape is worth a full bottle, by the way. I got a decan of it. As a matter of fact, I got it sitting right here. And is this it? Yeah. No, that's just part in the back. This is another one that I had. There we go. Tulum Junglescape. Yeah. And man, this is good. I really, really like Tulum Junglescape. It's definitely full bottle worthy, man. So that's a good scent. That is definitely a good scent, man. Gian, what's going on, man? What is happening? What is happening? You and Joe going back and forth. KM, what's going on? What's going on? You're early tonight. I'm not gonna be on long. That's probably why. What's going on though? Great seeing you. Great seeing you. Let's see. D Boogie, what's going on? What is happening, man? Hey, I need to holler at you because I got to figure out what's going on with that swamp water. I want to get my hands on some swamp water, and I keep hearing people talk about R&B. I don't even. Y'all got to drop the R&B stuff. Matter of fact, message me so I can get the info on R&B, and I need to see what's happening with swamp water. Because those are a couple of them that I think I want to go ahead and get in and do a little testing on and get it together, man. Because I am very interested in getting a few more um, of the more warm weather, freshy style of scents here before I start going into full fall mode. I got a few falls that are coming in now. It's a little early for them, but I figure it's time to go ahead and start getting them together. So probably the next couple of weeks, I'm going to put out a like a way too early fall list of fragrances, a couple of new ones. It's too hot for me to really sit back and test. The good thing about it though is that I do work at an inside job, so and I work from home part of the time. I work in the office part of the time, so I'll be able to kind of go in and be in the cool weather, you know, and it not be a problem for me to have on something that's more geared for cooler weather. Zenith Tobacco is one of them that's coming. Notes Jazz is one that's coming, and I'm really interested in it because the fragrance that is inspired by the OG, I happened to smell when I went in the niche shop, and I saw the name and I recognized it. I was like, that seems like that would be up my alley, and plus the bottle is amazing. So looking forward to getting my nose on that one, man. And the Fierte and Sequoia, Royal Blend Sequoia, which is the Paradise cologne, man. All right, let's see. What time is it? Was in the building. What time is it? OG, what's happening? Send today, Armoff Sapphire. Man, Sapphire, from what I hear, is really nice. I have not put my nose on it yet, but it's one that I thought about doing like a quick blind buy on because it seems like it's something that would be a good utility style of fragrance, man. But I hear it's really good. Joel said, "Can't wait to try my seraphimmusk in fall and see how it is in cooler weather." So don't get me wrong, I love walking around here and smelling this and really kind of getting into it. I do. I will take the top off of this thing all the time. And really inhale that stuff, man. To me, it's really really good. It does something different with a musk, and I get mostly the ebony wood, that kind of smoked lacquer, kind of soft lacquerish type of vibe from it. My wife is like, man, it smells like band-aids. I can't do it. I can't do it. But anything that's kind of leathery, she kind of has that reaction to. It's more the labdanum, I believe. Anything, because I noticed that a lot of fragrances that have kind of a pronounced labdanum in them, she does kind of get, or like a really animalistic style of oud. She does that with. So, but I am really looking forward to it, because when I did wear it around the house, just kind of like I said, I didn't even get full wears on it. Just kind of putting it on my arm and walking around and all that kind of stuff. When I would get those going, man, like when it got into like the deep dry down on that, in that 2 3 hour mark, you start really picking up that little soft vanilla vibe coming up off of it, man. So it was kind of like a dark, kind of musky, animalic style of musk, I guess you could say. More leathery than anything, that I really kind of picked up from it, along with a little bit of a vanilla coming in. Now, it's not like a leather vanilla combo like something you would find in like a baby cat or something like that. It was more of a pronounced animalic note. And I say leather, but that's kind of the better way for me to describe it. But it was like a deep animalic, kind of a brooding style of scent, kind of a lacquered type of vibe. And then it had, like I said, a really really soft, super super subtle vanilla, not like a really sweet vanilla, but you were picking up that there was a vanilla note in there. Really good. Really looking forward to wearing this in the fall, man. I am excited about kicking this in the fall. I was kind of trying to get it on a rainy day recently, but it just didn't work. I didn't have a chance to really get to wear it out, so it's coming. I had to reschedule that wear, but it is definitely coming, man. It's definitely coming. Let's see. Oh, let me get back to the phone. See the chat here. Let's see. We're getting back to Lou Dissel in the building. What is going on, my guy? What is going on, my guy? Lou Dissel put on something today, man. That I may jump on the vetiver. I keep wanting to say vetiver ombre, but it's not vetiver ombre. It's on my phone right now. As a matter of fact, I had it on the Fragrantica. Um, but let's see, vetiver something. It's in here. It's in here, and I'll pull it up in a sec. But Vetiver is what it is. Got my kind of vibe as far as the note breakdown goes. So I'm thinking that may be something I look at jumping on, man. Because it's a vetiver that has like a soft caramel as it kind of goes into the deeper dry down. Um, to me, that's kind of something that I think is going to be really, really nice in the fall, man. I don't know if it's going to be that much of a super freshy style of vetiver. I feel it's going to be one of those vetivers that's going to kind of bite at the top and then smooth out with a little bit of a caramelic nuance going down into the dry down. I am looking forward to putting my nose on it, though. And it's definitely happening. That is definitely happening. Let's see. All right, let's see what we got here. Day three is mid. Gian says, "Whoa, low, dang, Gian, you chose violence today, man. Like day three is mid. Oh, I mean they got such. Bonnie's great. Trezoros is great, man. That Aelin is great. What's the other one that I was smelling in that kit? Del Mar is pretty good too. So yeah, and that new one, that Desert Rain, I'm hoping that it's as good as what people are saying. I know Scent Bubble had a video where he was talking about it. I had another guy that I follow that mentioned it. Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what that thing is about. Hopefully, I get to get my nose on it soon and see what it's about, man. But I guess fragrance is subjective. There's some people I love mancera, but there's some people who think mancera is unpalatable. My guy Randy, man, the fragrance dude is like, mancera only has a few good fragrances, and I'm like, blasphemy. you know but yeah, that fragrance is subjective in that way, man. Hopefully you're just kidding though. All right, Lou, this says send of the day, Jimmy Choo Man Ice. I actually sent some of that to my dad. I love Jimmy Choo Man Ice. He's been working as a greeter. He just wants to do something to get out of the house. So he's working at Walmart as a greeter now, and he's just like, man, I just needed something to occupy time, man. Sitting at the house sucks. So he's out there doing that, and I sent him that Rocus, and another one I can't remember what it was, but they felt it, he loves them. And he was just like, man, send me some more. Whatever you got, what you got, what you got. I said it for Father's Day last year. So this Father's Day, send him Jimmy Choo Man Ice, just something that's gonna be, because he's out there and about in the open outside. Just give him something that is kind of fresh. And he should actually have it probably tomorrow. But I'm hoping he's gonna love it. I think he's probably going to. But that's a great scent, man. I love Jimmy Choo Man Ice. Yep, Joel is the master moderator, man. He is that. He is definitely that. And Gian, we do need Joel to come back. KM said, "Who's the beautiful smiling woman in the picture with the flowers on top? So cute." That is my mom. That is my mother, Missy Lane, man. I always keep her next to me, man. She passed away back in 2013, man. And her birthday was actually about a week or so ago. So that was kind of a weird, difficult time. It's a weird, difficult time all the time with my mom. So when it comes to her, it's so weird though. My mom's birthday is on July the 13th. She passed away on April 13th in 2013. So that was just kind of like a weird guiding number. That number 13, man. But yeah, like I'll tell people all the time that most little kids, they want to be a fireman or a doctor or a basketball player or stuff like that, man. But when I was younger, man, all I wanted to be was like my mom, because my mom was one of those people who was just so genuine, and people flocked to her. She was the person that people always wanted to just randomly just talk to. Like, we'd be places and she would just, people just randomly start conversations with her, and tell them all of her problems, all their problems and all their issues, man. And she was just that person. She just had this gravity around her that was just kind of like, people just wanted to talk to her. Just sweet, wasn't loud, wasn't obnoxious, wasn't. You would never know she was there until she started laughing and talking. And so she was just that kind of person. And it was always just fascinating to me to see how she was. I get my thought process of fairness and fair play and all that kind of stuff from her, basically, man. Just that even keel, staying along the line of everything, trying to see everything from every single point of view. That was her. So just completely understanding that type of person. So I always put her right there, watching over everything. And, she's always on my shoulder, man. So that's just how it is. She's always gonna have my back, regardless, man. Um, Let's see. Andrew Toole, what's going on? Evening, sir. Looking forward to getting those samples in. Man, yeah, I sent you the tracking over on those, man. And I'm looking forward to you getting them too, man, because there's some good stuff that you wanted and that you ordered in that thing. I do samples, by the way, $4 for samples, guys. So I'll usually send over my little Fragrantica list until I get the website up. I just got a notification earlier today saying that, oh, you better get your website up and running because we're going to, that domain's going to be only around until August 21st. I'm like, well, damn. So I'm going to have, well, I've already got everything kind of working in progress to actually have it running. The email has been up for the longest for the website. I just have not put all of the decant stuff up on there, but that's coming soon. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a rework on there to where I'm going to have that kind of stuff on the website, but then I'm also going to most likely have like little blogs and things like that, little fun prize stuff for everybody that comes on the site. It'll be nice. Let's see. Vetiver, yep, Vetiver Terror Ombre by Adolfo Dominguez. That is good. Let's see. Joel's talking to Gian about coming back, and I don't want Joel to come back. He's like, maybe soon. Still want want to get a few things before, like maybe a mic, green screen, etc. Also, have to find the time to do it. Might try to to do a bunch of videos in advance, so I don't have to rush. So that's a way to do it. I am horrible about that. I know people that will batch record videos. I know Sid Bubble does. I know my guy Nate will do it from time to time. There's a couple of other people out there in Fragcom that will do that, just kind of batch record videos, man, and just pop them out over like a matter of weeks and stuff. I am very reactionary in my reviews, so a lot of times, man, and I'm kind of like you, Joe, where it's just a time thing. I'm working, and when I get off from work, tired, trying to take care, make sure things going good with the wife, make sure all the things are going together. So, it's one of those things, man. And the way that I do reviews is not as conducive to doing that, because I want to like wear a fragrance 3-4 times before I do a review on it. So a lot of times there's a little bit of distance between when I do my reviews, and that's just because during that time period I'm literally wearing fragrances, day in, day out, doing testing on them and all that kind of stuff. Now, I am going to be starting a little bit of a series here, and I won't give a whole lot of info on it, where I just kind of answer questions about fragrances, and I recommend stuff from my collection or that's out there that would go good for the question that I'm being asked. So that's something I'm going to be doing, along with a couple of other little series that I am working on here, and those are going to be really nice. Those are going to be nice. That's going to be a little bit more short form than a lot of the other stuff. There's going to be more, kind of digestible bite-sized type digestible things, not necessarily these shorts, but something that's going to be like, maybe we'll get down to like 4 minutes for different things, because most of the fragrances that I have up here I've talked about, or people have talked about. There are a lot of hidden gems up there too, though, and I'll expound on them, but I won't get into the, this is what it's doing this hour, this is what it's doing this hour. There'll be more bite-sized, kind of digestible little nuggets on particular fragrances, especially if it's something where I'm recommending a fragrance to somebody. So it'll be good. So I understand where you're coming from, Joe. Definitely go into your bite size. You got an extensive collection, man, so I know you'll be good with that. Let's see. Maybe even a live. Yeah, you need to go on live. Let me know if you want to go on live, man, because I'm always down to do the live thing, man. Jump on StreamYard and rock them. I meant to try to get Randy on and just like, hey, I pay $50 a month for StreamYard. I need to start using it more. I've been using direct live on YouTube recently. I'm pointing them out. screen right now. I've been doing it direct live because from this vantage point, it's harder for me to run a StreamYard. Because I like to, if I'm doing StreamYard, I like to highlight the comments on the screen. And it's harder for me to do that sitting here, as opposed to when I'm on the desk. And when I'm on the desk, I could do, I can highlight comments and stuff like that. When I start doing my decant dives and stuff again, which I actually have a decant dive coming this week, for the La Persona stuff. When I start doing those, I'll start rocking that the StreamYard again. But let me know, Joe. Let me know. Let me see. You'll just say, let me know if you get it. Yeah, I probably am. I probably am getting it. I probably have. I've been pricing it. So once I get to that point, yeah, I'm probably going to get it. Joe said KM, his mother that passed away years ago. Yep. Talking my mom. Gian said, I tried to see the Cafe Tres Oros in downtown Deja Vu, and they're all okay to me. So I really like Tres Oros. I think Tres Oros is one of the better fragrance releases this year. I know that there are some people who are going completely bonkers about it. I would say that it is in my 9 tier, which is pretty high. It's not in my 10 tier, but it's definitely in my 9 tier. That's really high. I like that fragrance a whole lot, man. Downtown Deja Vu is okay. I did smell that one, and it's okay. I feel you on that one. Let's see. Kid Panda said, "Yo, sorry to bother you." Wait, you're not bothering anybody, man. What's going on? Kid Panda in the building. By the way, let me see. I'm gonna kind of skip down because I see y'all talking to each other. Kid Panda said, "I know I'm comparing different scents here, but all these are in the same price point for me. I'm Watch Interlude, 100% confused on the others. Dior Tabacular, Nishane Hasivat, LV Imagination, Naxos, or Initio Oud for Greatness. I'm going Dior Tabacular all day, every day. As much as I like LV Imagination, okay, first of all, Interlude's good. I like Interlude. But Interlude is, I always feel like Interlude is like one of those 35 and up fragrances that I like, but it's not something I want to wear every day. I think personally, just me, I like Tabacular. I like the way that Tabacular presents. But then again, I like that tobacco style of fragrance, that tobacco honey. I like tobacco is one of my favorite notes. So I am a little bit more biased in that sense. In that, um, just the way that Tabacular does the tobacco, I should say. Not saying that the other ones are, but just saying that the way the Tabacular does tobacco, I really like. It's probably one of my second favorite tobaccos behind. I love Triumph of Bacchus, although I feel like the tobacco in Triumph of Bacchus, it colors the fragrance. It doesn't make the fragrance, if that makes sense. I feel like there's so much other stuff in Triumph of Bacchus. It is blended really, really well that I don't necessarily, and I know people consider Triumph of Bacchus a tobacco scent. I don't know if I consider it a tobacco scent because there's so many other elements that are going on that the tobacco kind of gets lost in the in a subtlety in that fragrance. Tabacular, I feel like you get an emphasis on the tobacco. Amouage, if you're talking about tobaccos, Amouage, uh, somebody talk to me. What is it called? The Amouage, the Royal. That one. That one. I don't know why I can't think of it all of a sudden. Because I was just talking about it yesterday. That was a good one too. But out of that list that you just mentioned, man, I'm going Tabacular all day. All day. Um, in all honesty, the only other one that Naxos is good. Naxos is good. We're talking about tobaccos, of course, and the Naxos one is good. Interlude's good. I just like the way the Tabacular is done. LV Imagination. See, that's one of those things, man. I would rather Tobacco over LV Imagination, but I can see how 8 out of 10 people would go the other way and rather LV Imagination over Tobacco. Um, but I would not pay for LV Imagination as it is now, just because there's so many other options that are close enough to it. I have yet to find something that is close enough to Tobacco to make me say it's not worth buying Tobacco instead. Just saying it like that. That's probably a better way of saying it. Let's see. Initial Oof Greatness, by the way, is good. I would rather, if you go in the route of Initio Oud for Greatness, somewhere in that, go with the Mancera Eternal Wood, because it's got definite shades of Oud for Greatness in there, definite shades of Haltane, but it takes it in a different direction as it's going into the dry down. It's sweeter because it's got a toffee, which is kind of a unique vibe going on there. It makes that fragrance subtly sweet into the dry down, compliment monster. So, if it's like Oud for Greatness, if Oud for Greatness was getting you compliments, that. See, y'all saying the building, what's going on? What is going on, man? Set of the day, John Jabray. So now we got to qualify, because I did get on Dedrick's Live a little bit earlier for a little bit. We got to qualify which John Jabray you rocking. Are we doing Molinard or Mizensar? So I am tempted to go ahead and drop the change on the Molinard, and I probably will go Molinard. But that Mizensar, just the crispness of it, from what I'm hearing, is probably going to be more along my vibe. I don't know. From what I'm seeing, you can't go wrong with either one. But yeah, which one you rocking, CR? Sit of the Night, L'Homme Ideal, Platine Privé. Yes. That is good. And that thing's where you getting the Platine Privé from, bro? Let's see. Beauty of Scent. Hey, what it do? The novice knows. We here. What's the best Montal or Mancera? Fresh scent. Man, Mancera and Montal's got some good fresh scents. For fresh scents for Montal, Fougères Marine up and down. Herbal Aquatica, I like a lot. Got that right there. But Fougères Marine. There's something about Fougères Marine that's just stupidly good. Food, and it is what it says. It's a fougere fragrance, has a little bit of an aquatic vibe to it, a little bit of a watery style of aquatic as well. It's got a little saltiness to it too. Beautiful scent, man. A lot of people compare it to like Old Tommy, and I get that comparison, but on its own, man, that stuff's gorgeous. Mancera, though, gosh, fresh fragrances. I've been vibing a lot with Cinque Terre recently. That's been one of my favorite pickups this year, man. Cinque Terre is kind of 3 fragrances is one in one, because it opens up really. Matter of fact, let me pull that up right quick, because I got it actually on the wall now. Love Cinque Terre. I think that this is one of Mancera's best releases in the last few years. Come on. There we go. I was like, why is my screen not refreshing? But trying to make sure I can keep up with the chat there. But yeah. So starts out, see the gradient on the bottle? It's kind of hard to see, but it's blue to green to kind of like a muted, kind of like brownish type of vibe, gold type of vibe. That's what you get in this fragrance. Opens up kind of like a blue style of aquatic, goes green as it kind of goes into its mids, gets a little piney as far as the way it goes. It's not uber coniferous, but it does go piney. And then in the base of it, you're getting an influence of tonka. So that tonka bean is really like smoothing that thing out, kind of almost sweetening it up as well on skin at like that 4 hour, 5 hour mark. It's definitely really sweet. It really has a lot of green aspect, a lot of blue aspect as well. Beautiful fragrance, man. Super fresh, super inviting, super strong as well. So always be careful when you wear this. If you spray like 6 sprays of this and you're like, okay, I'm not smelling it, it's not really pumping off of me. You went nose blind to it because it's that strong. So and learn from my mistakes. I've actually learned on this one. This one is strong like that. It's easy to go nose blind to this one. So be careful with it. When you're talking about freshies, of course, oud lemon mint. Oud lemon mint is um I mean, what else can you say about a fragrance just to say it has lemon, it has mint? And this is kind of like this is a polarizing scent for people because the mint in here is synthetic. It's not like a Torino 21-ish, leafy green, realistic type of. No, it's synthetic and wants to be. It's chewing gum, toothpastey style synthetic mint, but it's done so well in here that it just gives this really uplifting, energizing vibe when you wear this. Beautiful in the air. The scent trail on this is stupid. And then it's got little like sprinkles of the citrus that kind of pop into it as well. The scent trail, if anybody that's worn this, and if you're in the chat, testify. This thing, when it gets in the air, man, you're talking about gorgeous as far as sillage goes. And then, man, I would be remiss if I didn't mention it because, man, Joe, I was going to say Vetiver Sensual because Vetiver Sensual technically is a freshie as well. Vetiver Sensual is technically a uber freshie as well. So I'm going to say Vetiver Sensual, definitely. I'm going to put that out there because I know Joe's out here. This fragrance, Mancera Amberful, it got kind of like a big, like, there's a lot of people. Why is there we go. My beautiful face was in the screen. And as long as my beautiful face is in the screen, the camera don't want to look at nothing but me. So anyway, I had to make sure I hid my face so to focus on the bottle. Anyway, so this fragrance, man, when it first came out, people were kind of like, okay, that's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And then it kind of dropped off the radar. I'm not exactly sure why. Because it ain't because it's not good, because I'm checking the dent here. I got a nice sized little dent in this bottle. It's kind of hard to see, but can you see that? Some of this is because I got people stealing 10, 15 mils at a time. And I ain't naming no names, but it's people that stay in Louisiana. Anyway, so yeah, this fragrance, man, highly complimented fragrance for me. This is like opening up citrusy. It's very mineralic as well here. A lot of people compare it to like a Ganymede. Kinda, I could see that as well. But man, the way this thing plays in the air is gorgeous. This is one of those where every time I wear this, it is and I talk about compliments a lot. And I'll be the first one to say you shouldn't wear a fragrance because you're getting compliments. You should wear it because you like it. I love this fragrance. The precipitate of that, though, and the bonus of that is that every time I wear this, it's like a 3 to 4 compliment monster. It's really nice, really fresh. It's something that can go 4 seasons because you can actually wear this in the fall, in the winter, fall and winter. This is a winter citrus. It's strong enough to cut through the winter, through the cold in the winter. So if it's strong enough to cut through the cold in the winter, you know it's strong. This is another one like a Cinque Terre where you have to be careful how many times you're spraying it. Because if you're not, you will go nose blind to it. When you first spray this, the pink pepper in here blows your nose out. So when I spray this on, I always hold my breath. I'm literally, when I do, I'm like, and that's it. I walk out of that bubble, and then I take a breath because it definitely will, and it plays so well off skin, lasts forever. Performance is not a question on this one, not a question on chick. Most manceras, it's not a question. Performance is never a question. Fresh, compliment garnering, 4 seasons, beautiful fragrance, man. So those are just a couple of them, man, that I could think of right off the bat. And then, of course, referencing Vetiver Sensual, because I know my guy Joel's gonna mention Vetiver Sensual. Beautiful fragrance, man. I'm about to knock everything over. Beautiful fragrance. I love Vetiver Sensual. Um, this is Kumquat. Love Vetiver Sensual. It is another one that is a strong compliment getter when it comes to fragrances, man. Um, yeah. Yeah, you can see the dent in Vetiver Sensual. I've been messing with Vetiver Sensual for a while. For a long time, I've been messing with Vetiver Sensual, as you can tell by the bottle. Way before this rap shit. Way before this fragrance thing, man. Before I got on here, got on lives and doing this kind of thing, I was messing with Vetiver Sensual, bro. Very, very fresh, invigorating lime in that thing at the top that opens up. That way that that Vetiver Sensual is the best way to describe it, because it's not like a biting type of vetiver. It's something that's kind of smooth in the way that it presents, going into the dry down. But at the same time, man, this is another one that has a very sensual scent trail. Really, really nice. I know I've just been talking. All right, let's see. Da, 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 da. All right, let's see. That's great. I'm just going through the chat because I'm literally like scrolling back up. Mancera Fresh said, "All right, KM. My scent of the day is Dolly Parton, sent from above. My teen son bought it for me and will treasure it always. Your story moves me so much. I hope my sons think of me so lovingly as you do your mother." Well, thank you. I definitely appreciate it, man. Your scent of the day, Dolly Parton, sent from above. You know what's interesting? I do remember hearing about that scent. There's a few scents that are like celebrity scents that are out there that are better than people actually give them credit for. Some of the Antonio Banderas stuff is actually not that bad. The Billie Eilish, some of her stuff is good. Um, Summer Mink is actually not bad. Now that I've actually had a chance to really kind of, I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to go ahead and put it on skin in a little bit, but I probably will, and give it a wear, a good old wear, just to see what it's gonna do. But yeah, I definitely appreciate that, man. And she was great. She was great. You know, everybody's always like, everybody thinks of the people that they know as being the best of the best. No matter what their trials and tribulations were, you always think of the people that are close to you as being like amazing, remarkable, those things to things. And I can honestly say that, it ain't just me. It ain't just me that said it. Quick story. When we were it was at her funeral where everybody was in pastels. And, we had kind of put everything together and we were at the church. We showed up at our church back home, which holds a lot of people, man, holds a couple thousand people. And, it was just us, we walked in and, we had maybe about 100 people, 50 to 100 that were there. And, we're, you know, talking and we're doing the funeral and I'm kind of into the funeral at this point. I'm just kind of, in the choir singing and all that because she was in the choir. We started that church. We were part of that church since we were like little. And like, we were the first members. And so we got to see it go from like being a meeting in our pastor's living room to being like a multi-million-dollar sanctuary. But we were going through the funeral and everything. And I remember when the family was turning around to walk out, or, I'm thinking it's like maybe 100 of us there. They turned around to walk out and I look and there's like, I think the roll at the end of the day said 815 or something like that people that just randomly had showed up. And the list, the long, the where everybody signs in and everything, it was like 600 something signatures on there giving condolences. I knew Missy Lane from when I was at the DMV. I knew her when she was at the manager at Kmart, and she helped me get my first job. She helped me with my boyfriend issues. She helped me. So it was she was that person. So it was always great. And I'm pretty sure that just you know I think all sons think of their mother that way. So I'm pretty sure your kids are going to think of you like that as well, though. Let's see. Beauty of Set, without a doubt, veteran sensual. I knew Joe was going to say veteran sensual. Let's see. Beauty of Set said, I ain't a fan of veteran too much. I know that's just, I would just say, I know how that should smell. Is it very vetiver heavy? Yeah, vetiver sensual is kind of a fresher vetiver, like Joel's saying right now. A lot of citrus in there, smooth as it goes into the vetiver, not a biting, smoky vetiver. Let's see. So I think Joel was live with Michael is the last time, or maybe Jim's. Lou Drizzle said, the perfectionist in you, the Professor Gator, Professor Alligator Aloysius Beta at your service. Yes. That is, I am going to start that skit. I am going to start integrating that into my videos a little bit, because I had somebody mention it to me the other day, man. Andrew Toole said, keeping an eye out for French Avenue Atlantis to drop at the same time as Aether, on the same line as Aether, supposed to be a slightly candied watermelon with a bit of creaminess from coconut, clone of Room 1015 Wave Child. Yeah, I've been scoping the internet for it. I know Neeb had done a video where he was showing the bottle for it, and it was in the blue. They were talking about changing the color. I hope they don't change the color. Room 1015 Wave Child is an amazing fragrance. I actually wore it last week. I love it. I love Room 1015 Wave Child. It's one of those that it was like, as soon as I smelled it, it was like, I got to get a full bottle. And my wife was like, yeah, you got to get a full bottle. It's just that good of a fragrance. As a matter of fact, I got a full bottle of it coming. But I have this thing where I have to get through my 10 mil decant before I bring in the full bottle. And I'm like, this on my 10 mil decant of it. So I already have been pricing it. It's coming in, man. So, but yeah, I am very interested in seeing how they're going to run Atlantis, because Room 1015, as good as a fragrance as it is, it's not like a lot of the other fragrances that French Avenue goes after. French Avenue does kind of go after highlight fragrances, stuff like your PDM fragrances, Xerjoff stuff, things like that. So for them to kind of go after a smaller house, as far as one of their fragrances, is interesting to me. I want to see how they're going to work that out. I'm optimistic because I love the way that French Avenue does their fragrances. The only thing that gives me pause is Aether, because it is a good Greenlee clone. The problem that I had with Aether initially was the maturation time. For me, the maturation time for Aether was literally like 2 months. Like it did not get its act together to where, and it took longer for it to have a little bit more longevity. That was the big thing. It just felt like it was kind of wispy. It was a little bit. Greenlee's not like this overbearingly potent fragrance anyway, but Aether just came across a little wispy to me. But as it kind of aged a little bit, matured a little bit, the wispiness kind of went away. So I'm hoping that it's not the same amount of time, because if there is that happens with that fragrance, there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna poo-poo on it. They're gonna completely shit on that fragrance because they're gonna say it's awful. Fingers crossed, because I'm getting Room 1015 Wave Child anyway. but I am definitely going to bring in Atlantis to see what it's about. Plus, that blue bottle is fire. That blue bottle is fire. Let's see. All right. Da, 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 da. Okay. This is going back and forth in the comments. All right. Let's see. Let's chat on Insta. Okay. Y'all planning a live. Good, 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 good. What y'all? You'll jump in with the. Well, y'all planning a live, bro. Y'all ain't inviting me. Boo. Anyway, Kicks, what is going on, man? Kicks Griffey in the building. I said of the day, Kingsgate Fragrance Bombay, inspo of unique luxuries, magnificent layered with Nishane Annie. Bruh. Bruh, you giving a little vanilla smoothness going on. You know what I'm saying? Smooth going down on that mug. Yeah, I got you. I heard Bombay is good, man. I'm gonna have to get my nose on that. I heard Bombay is good. Kicks. Everybody said they Kicks. Yeah, man. Tobacco is top 10 for me, period. That plum and tobacco. Whew, that's what I'm talking about. Bro, tobacco. You saw how excited I got just now? So, bro, the Maison Alhambra tobacco is pretty decent, right? Excuse me. But it's just something. The magic in tobacco is different. Zenith Tobacco, the one that I've got coming in right now, the new French Avenue, is inspired by tobacco. So I'm already ready to elbow drop it. I'm bringing it in because I have high hopes because it's French Avenue. But I'm if it's not good, we got problems. We got problems because I'm gonna get online and we're gonna have problems. Before I go through the chat, I want to holler at my girl. Mixed Edition says, checking in, Gator. What's going on, ma'am? How you doing? How is you doing? You know, I gotta she's one that I gotta definitely shout out because I know she be doing stuff. So I gotta shout out her, man. Just in case she be gone by the time I get down to her in the comment. Let me see. I watched Royal Tobacco. That's what I'm talking about. But for me, Naomi Good Sir or Do Sir Ali is just a touch above. Yeah. Opus, yep, Royal Tobacco. That's the one I was talking about. I was like, Royal Tobacco? Am I saying that right? I knew it was Royal Tobacco. Royal Tobacco is good. I think Royal Tobacco is tobacco. I think Royal Tobacco is more of, I'm not even gonna say it's brutish. It's so nice, man. It's a well done tobacco fragrance. Some people might not like it though, which is weird. And while Royal Tobacco is great for me, Naomi Good Sir, oh, that the other them. Deborah, Queen Deborah in the building. That's my girl, man. What is going on with you? What is happening? She says it's the Saints hat for me. Definitely. Who that said they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? It is good seeing you in the building. Welcome, 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 welcome. Oh, everybody, make sure when y'all come in, man, and before y'all come in, when you're leaving out, when you're moving back and forth, make sure you hit the like button, man, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I promise I ain't gonna bother y'all that much. I promise, because I'm not one of them people that's gonna be sitting there giving you videos like 40 times a day. You know, I might start doing it 2 times a day, so y'all, And the other thing I'm about to start doing, I mentioned this earlier, where I'm going to be doing a lot of content regarding like people that are asking me questions. Man, I'm going to set up a post on my page. It's going to be a community post where I'm going to have people just literally come in and leave questions. And I'll answer the questions. I'm just going to like a fragrance recommendation or something like that. And I'm going to start chopping them into like 4-minute, 5-minute, long, short form videos, just kind of answering those questions. So, leave your questions. I'm gonna put the post out there soon. When I put the post out, I'll be like, hey, just leave whatever questions on here, and we're gonna start running it like that. Because I feel like even though my time, I end up running and doing things like that at the same time, it's also cool that I can have I could do stuff like that in like a little 10-minute, 15-minute video in the evening, and I don't have to do much of an edit or anything like that. So yeah, let's see. And I'm gonna be jumping off in a second, but I want to go through the comments here. And let's see. Mo said, I need to try Eternal Wood. I love Oud for Greatness. Man, Eternal Wood is such a gem. And it's weird because it dropped at the same time as Amberful last year, and a lot of the hype went to Amberful, not as much to Eternal Wood. Eternal Wood, for me, I said this when I first reviewed it, and it holds true today. I feel like in 2 years, people are gonna look back on Eternal Wood, and they're gonna be like, that was one of the better Mancera releases here in the last like 10 years. It's that good to me. And a lot of it is because it does have that Oud for Greatness, a kind of Halte vibe. But the way those kind of lose that sweetness and go to more of the woody, fresh kind of vibe, dark but fresh kind of vibe as it goes to the dry down, and especially Halte kind of has this the praline that's in there, and it kind of holds that sweetness, but when it goes into the deeper dry down, as it goes into like that 4 hour mark, you kind of lose a little bit of the praline. You might get a little kind of pop every once in a while of it, but it's mostly just that fresh woodiness kind of vibe. Eternal Wood, that toffee mainlines, that toffee stays there. And so it's always got this sweet background. It's like a sweet, woody vibe as it goes into the deep dry down. And of course, it's a mancera, so it performs, lasts forever on skin. Gorgeous fragrance. Kid Patton said, okay, thoughts on the Labo Patchouli 24? It smells like a burning fire. It does. I'm 100% doing a homage interlude. I need a second. Now, my follow up, what's the U.S. price of Mancera red tobacco? What would you charge? I'm going to say like this. To ship to South Africa, I wish I could buy it and ship it to South Africa. I don't know which sites sell legit stuff, not gonna lie. Yeah, so if you're thinking about something like I don't do like the international shipping stuff, but I will say that your sites like I don't know if Drum Shop still does international. I know that fragrancebuy.ca did international, and you can get Mancera red tobacco there for somewhere around 88 US. Now I would tell you go red tobacco intense, which will probably get you about 109 on fragrancebuy.ca, but it's worth it because the intense is actually a smoother opening. It doesn't have that same bite. Some people like the bite of red tobacco when it first comes in. I don't. Most people I know don't. I think Intense is a better version of red tobacco, smoother. It's worth paying the extra $20-$25 for that version as opposed to the regular red tobacco. And you can get it from fragrancebuy.ca. I know they do some international shipping. I would go with them. So fragrancebuy.ca is one to go to. They're out of Canada. They're really good. I am also starting to look for some international shippers. A new store, the guys that I know down there in Miami, I talked to them recently about international stuff. So kind of keep posted on that because I do want to try to help a lot of the people that are out there that come into my lives. They're not here stateside. So I had been talking to them about, doing international stuff. They get a lot of Middle Eastern, a lot of inspired buys in. And the guy that works there, he actually has connections in Nigeria. So I know he had been trying to ship stuff over there. So I'm wondering if he's in Egypt as well. I know he's been kind of going back and forth there. So I'm wondering if they're going to be doing it. We've been having some discussions about that. I don't think it's something that they do a lot, but I know they have shipped to Africa. So I'll probably give some updates on that because that could put a feather in their cap above everybody else that's out there in the game right now. But fragrancebuy.ca, definitely look into them, man. Let's see. You say, have you tried Montal Infinity? My favorite one from Montal, then Arabian's Tonka. Excuse excuse me, Kyra Sparks actually put me on to Infinity. It is coming in my fall haul. It's one of the first ones that's coming in the fall haul. I'm hearing it's an amazing cherry. I believe it. I believe it. I have not put my nose on it yet, but I believe it's going to be an amazing cherry. Racket Club says, "What's good, Gator and Chat Center today?" Luna Rosa Ocean. I like Luna Rosa Ocean, man, especially the weird caramel at the bottom. That's actually really nice. That's really nice. Joe said, "Mancera lemon line is also good. Smells like a lemon candy." Yeah, it is. It actually is, man. Racket Club said, "I'm sorry, Gator. I went and bought that Rare Reef last night before getting that Platine Blanc. LOL. I also picked up that new Collage Shadow, too." Collage Shadow is actually interesting. You're going to have to probably let that sit for about 2 weeks, though. From what I'm hearing, I have a friend of mine that actually let me smell it, but he was like, it took him 2 weeks for it to actually get itself together. It said it smelled better, way better 2 weeks in. It's okay, man. Rare Reef's great. I just think Platine Blanc is the better fragrance, but Rare Reef's great. Rare Reef is really great. Let's see. Lou Dizzle said, "Yeah, I was catching whiffs of it all day when I wore it, 2 sprays on each wrist." Yeah. We're going back to fragrance. Chick Terry will be a buy after I finish something in my collection. I'm sticking fairly strictly to the list I have. Yeah, man. Sometimes you got to do that. You got to be strict, straight up, stringent with the way that you do them, man. Ludissa said, "Def is one of the best Manceras on performance." It really is, man. See, I said I'm rocking the Molinar. Reminds me of your own cologne or Jimmy Choo Man Ice with ginger. Good quality. That's what I wanted to hear. So now I am at odds with myself again between Eau de Jambre and Gingerbread. They should have said that, bro. And now I'm wondering. All right, let's see. All you had to say was Jimmy Choo Man Ice. Right, Club said, "Man, this is the second time I've just seen someone talking about Molinar gingerbread today. I can't believe that I've never heard of it before." I've heard of gingerbread because I like the basilic. Molinar's the basilic. It's got that tea in there, really nice fresh mint kind of fragrance. I like it a lot. So when I was looking at the Molinar stuff, that was one of the ones that popped up, and I thought it was really nice. But I mean, this time of year, it goes from being, "Oh, this is really nice," to must have. Add $50 in the collection. I know John that Dedrick was talking about it earlier too. So this is a no-brainer for the amount that you pay for it. And mix it, finally down the mix. See, that's why I said hey earlier. Because it took me that long to get down to the comment. It took that long. Joel said, "I do the same, Gator. I have to empty my 10 mil before buying a full bottle." You know what? It keeps you honest, right? Because you a lot of times we'll smell a fragrance off a decant and be kind of like, "Oh man, I love this. I got to get it." But sometimes it's getting multiple wears in on a fragrance to really make, because with a lot of the fragrances that are more like inspired by us and stuff, yeah, you're 20, 25, 30, $40 in that range. It's not that bad, right? But when you're paying for a decant somewhere in the range of like $30, you know what I'm saying? Then it's kind of like you want to go through that entire decant before you make your informed decision. Perfect example of that was for me was the Tony Iommi, the Xerjoff Tony Iommi Deified. I love Deified. Y'all already know it's got apple in it, so you know I'm gonna love it anyway. Deified is a monster. Deified is a must-have, and it stayed a must-have even after I got out of my 10 mil. So it's coming. You know what I'm saying? Eau d'Ombre Leather, the Tom Ford. Same thing with that one. After I got through with the decant, it was a must-have. So so anything that's got a higher price point, I make sure to go through those decants completely to make that informed decision. That's probably the better way to do it. It keeps you kind of honest when it comes to buying those fragrances and not just splurging on stuff like that. Let's see. Capricorn Flower said, "I just subscribed." Thank you so much for subscribing. That is awesome. I thank you so much. I definitely appreciate it, man. I hope you get a lot of like information and everything from the channel, man. And make sure you ask questions because everybody that's in here, they can answer them, including me sometimes. Lou Drizzle saying, "Who that?" Of course, that's what it's all about. Capricorn Flower said, "I got Atlas this week. My husband hates it." Hi, Joel again. So I did a video on Atlas a while back, man, where I talk about Atlas. And here's the thing with Atlas. Atlas is such a polarizing fragrance for me because while I can see the utility in it, the shit's too strong. Like when I first, let me get up here and get it. It's up here on the side thing. I didn't mean to moon everybody. But when I first got it, man, I like it. You see the dent, not a whole big dent, right? Um, Definitely a fresh, salty aquatic, way too strong. But the original is super strong. What it's based on? Why do I want to say bergamusk? It's not bergamusk, but why did I want to say megamar? It's very strong. But when I first sprayed this, I got banned from wearing it in the house because I sprayed it on like a test strip, and I put that test strip in the garbage in my bathroom, and it lit up the whole floor, top floor of the house. My wife was like, "Nah, bro, nah." that was the fragrance that started the flushing of the decant strips. So whenever I do a tester strip, I flush it. I don't put it in the garbage. I flush it. This was the fragrance that started the flushing trend. Is this one? That being said, it's not like it's a bad fragrance. It's just uber strong. I don't find utility in it. In most situations, if I'm outside or something, it makes sense, right? If I'm moving around outside doing the thing. But this is not an inside scent. It has no inside voice at all. All right, so, but again, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. But I can see why your husband hated it. He said, "I like Atlas 2 sprays max for me." Yeah, you can only do 2 sprays. You can only do 2 sprays of it. Mo says, anyone try Coastal Breeze versus Rare Reef? I got something coming up on it. I do because I do like both, right? And people were like, "You don't like Rare Reef, you don't like Rare Reef." I do like Rare Reef. Luciano Coastal Breeze is really good, man. It really is. As you can see by the dead. But it's like taking the two of them, they're different. They're different. I personally think that Rare Reef is only inspired. The opening is the only part that's inspired by Pacific Chill. I really believe that Rare Reef's whole opening is inspired by Pacific Chill. The rest of the fragrances is doing its own thing. It's inspired by some other stuff. I heard somebody in my comments one time say that they think that the mids are inspired by Megamar. Atlas is a Megamar. I can see that because it goes aquatic, but it's nowhere near the strength of aquatic that a Megamar is. So I'm not sure if they're actually inspired by that. This does go aquatic in the dry down, though. This is not the same as like Pacific Chill or any of the other inspired by fragrances like a Coastal Breeze, like a Jean Lo Vibe, like an Anfara Batik, or like any of the other ones that I got sitting up here, which Pacific Aura is the other one that I got right there. The Batik is the other one that I have, and actually gave that one away. That's a long story. We'll talk about that in another episode. But yeah, man. Let's see. Lou Dizzle said, "Yeah, most people love it or hate it, Capricorn." Yeah. And Atlas? Definitely. Let's see. Most says, "I like Coastal Breeze. Rare Reef is its own thing, but same family tree from scent profile." Yeah. He said, I like it both though. You're about to start something with Gator. Yeah, you saw you look, bro. I didn't even get to that comment. But yeah, you already know. You already know what I was about to say. Yeah. You say, have you tried Imagination by Louis Vuitton? Of course, of course. You know, I love imagination. Imagination is to me, and I mentioned it earlier in the comments. I love imagination. I think Game of Spades Full House gets very, very, very close, close enough to me to say, you know what? I'm not going to re up on my bottle of imagination. By the way, um, I told Charm City this story, man. Shout out to my guy Charm, man. He's gonna be using moving status right now. He's gonna be back on soon. But I told him, man, we were doing that clone versus originals with me, him, Simp Bubble, Fat Boy, Finesse, my guy Walt, CR Saint, Suits of Sense. We were all on there, man. And I was telling him when we were talking about jumping on the show. I was like, yeah, man, I got the imagination. I was thinking about, getting me another bottle of it and, re-upping and everything. And he was like, bro, why didn't you just like refill it? You get a refill like half off. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you get a refill like half off. I forgot about this. Like, I literally threw away my bottle of imagination. Like, and I was gonna have to buy a whole nother $350 bottle of imagination when I could have just went and got it refilled for like 160. And me being dumb had thrown the bottle away just like. So I held my head in shame and was like, damn. But in all honesty, I think imagination, nothing is going to be imagination. Nothing's gonna be imagination. Imagination is imagination. Game of Spades Full House for me gets close enough for me to say I don't need to invest in the actual imagination. The only real difference that you find in them is that Game of Spades is a little bit sweeter, but it's not bad at all. I like it a lot. And it lasts around, for me, I get like 9 to 10 hours on it. I got like 9 to 10 hours on imagination too. So yeah. But and I got so many different imagination varieties over here, by the way, because I don't not only have Game of Spades Full House, I also have Aqua Dubai, which Aqua Dubai actually isn't only an imagination inspiration in name. It's a different fragrance. It just has a little bit of an imagination vibe at the top of it. But I mean, as it dries down, it's a completely different fragrance. And then you've got Art of Arabia 1 up there that I have, which is actually not bad. They nailed a tea in there. It's just the rest of the fragrance goes flat and goes into like a lavender and tea fragrance as it gets into that like hour and a half to 2 hour dry down. But the opening of it is actually kind of close to imagination. And speaking of imagination, my scent of the day today, well, my scent of the evening, because my scent of the day earlier today was actually Turin 31, which is the Torino 21 inspiration that I am testing here. So that was my scent earlier today from Anash. But my scent of the evening, I went in, I took a shower right before I did this live here. My scent of the evening is the worst imagination inspiration that's out there. That being said, it's a great fragrance itself. This is from Paris Corner. It is Trois. Is North Stag Expressions Trois. Okay. They've got a couple of different ones in that line. They've got which is a tiger clone, but fuck Tiger. You've got De, which is the black bottle up there, which is the Leighton inspiration. And then you have the orange bottle, which is Quattro, which is the afternoon swim one, which is the one that everybody always talks about. Trois to me is actually really nice because this fragrance is actually not imagination at all. What it is it's basically kind of an afternoon swim with an extra ginger note in there. So it just kind of lifts up the fragrance a little bit, gives it a little bit of a crispness. You can pick up a slight little bit of tea in here, but it is like so minuscule in here. You're basically getting an overdose of the citruses in here with a little bit more ginger vibe in here than you would find in Quattro. Really nice though, really refreshing, really light, easygoing, crisp kind of fragrance though. Longevity is not really that good on here. Although it's been sitting for a while, and I can say that those bottles, those North Stag bottles, have actually increased as far as their performance, their longevity have over the last like year or so. So, but going back to imagination, yeah. Let's see. All right. Say, Gator, do you layer your fragrances? Nope. I don't. Now I will occasionally do like a body butter, like a scented body butter, and like a cedar. Who's the company I used to get my body butters from? And I'll spray over that, or combo like that. But I don't do much layering. I prefer when I spray my fragrances just to spray the fragrance that I'm working with. On occasion, I'll layer something just to kind of see what it's gonna do. Like my layer go to, and it's really just if I want to make a fragrance a little bit more masculine, is the Bentley Absolute, right? Absolute. So the reason I use this is because it's basically cedar. All it is cedar. I call it my Home Depot fragrance because it's basically just cedar. That's all it is. It's just cedar. And what I'll do is I'll use this as a base if I just want to kind of increase the masculine lean of a fragrance a little bit. It just adds kind of a woody vibe. There's not a whole lot else to this except for a little bit. It is a little peppery as well, but that's the only thing I'll usually use as far as like layer stuff goes. Let's see. Up, Rise of the Israelites said, "What's up, cuzzo? What is happening, my boy? Cuz in the building, man." That's one of my Dixie Cup folks. I've been telling y'all people that my brother was in here. My brother was here. My cousin Ty G was on here a couple weeks ago, about a week ago, and I was like, "Those are people those my actual brother, my actual cousin." You know what I'm saying? Like Nuggy, Rise of the Israelites. That's my actual cousin. Grew up together. you know, Shoot. So yeah, man, what's going on with you? Let's see. Racket Club said, I discovered this channel because of LV Imagination. Yeah, because I was going back and forth because I have just about every inspiration of LV Imagination there is. And it really was one of those things that it was, for me, it was kind of a cool thing because I got to dissect fragrances a good bit. And that was, which was so cool because I took like 5 different inspirations of imagination and literally just dissected each one, compared it. Because at the time I still had that about this much of my bottle of imagination that was in there. So I was just like spraying it up and just kind of going back and forth with them. Let's see. Bracket Club says, I was going back and forth trying to decide if I should buy Aqua Dubai. But Aqua Dubai is good. Aqua Dubai is fresh. Aqua Dubai is not necessarily imagination. It does have a more of a compliment factor than even the original imagination does. It's something about the way that they integrate the vanilla in there, because they don't use a black tea. Does not have black tea in there at all. And if it doesn't have black tea in it, it's not imagination. But what they do is they add like this melon and vanilla in there. And what it does, along with the petitgrain that's in there, it really kind of gives it more of a masculine lean, but it smooths out that petitgrain note a little bit, and just kind of makes it more of a mass appealing kind of vibe, while you still have kind of that soapy freshness that you would have in all of the other interpretations of imagination. Really nice, really kind of, and a really good performer as well too, man. I've gotten way more compliments off of Aqua Dubai than I've got even off of wearing the original imagination. Some people might say it's synthetic though. I've been seeing that a lot recently, but to me, it's great. Racket Club said, "Yeah, man, I love that Aqua Dubai." Yeah. Said Gator inspired my Aqua Dubai purchase. Yeah, Aqua Dubai is really good. So I like Dubai Nice as well. Dubai Nice is actually good. I just never brought it in. That's another Arabian's Tonka vibe. But I probably am gonna bring it in this winter because I want to do a video specifically on that one. Right Club said, I've never smelled afternoon swim before. Does it smell similar to Tigar? It's a lot smoother, more realistic vibe of citrus. It's more orangey, with a little bit of kind of like a vetiver in the base, kind of that kind of vibe that's coming up. Not smoky or anything, just kind of clean. It's a really clean orange citrus kind of vibe to it, though. It's really nice. Now, when I say vetiver, it's only just a tad, just kind of just to ground it a little bit, barely noticeable. And the actual afternoon swim doesn't last very long. That one has a little bit more vetiver in it, the Quattro, and it don't last long either. You might get 5 hours on it. Might. Said my Quattro is crazy performance now. I love that orange monster. So yeah, that was what I was just saying. To me, I'm still only getting 5 hours on it though. So I don't know. The performance might have gone up a little bit. I was saying earlier about the performance on those bottles going up. I sit and after they sit, I haven't worn it maybe in about I haven't worn it since last year. So I might I might need to jump back in that bottle. Because I just sprayed on Quattro tonight is my scent of the night. I spun the wheel. My wife spun the wheel and that's what came up. So hey, it might be good. Joel said the only Paris Quarter North Stag I have is phenomenal Quattros. It smells like a way better performer, Margiela Jazz Club. I love it. Yeah, I'm speaking of Jazz Club, that's also in my list too. Yeah. Lou Dizzle said, I like Jazz Club. Capricorn Flower said, Gator, will you show some of your wife perfumes that you like? I'm not gonna run in the room and get her right now because she's doing something. But I mean, well, in the room, I'm not gonna run and interrupt what she's doing in the room because that's where she has them. Quimma. I always recommend Quimma. Lattafa Quimma. Quimmah is one that I found for her. She likes a lot. The Dreams Sunset from Coach is another one. Fairly inexpensive. She really likes that a lot. She has her own kind of style. Like I go all over the place with my style. She kind of stays in one lane. A lot of her fragrances smell alike because she kind of stays in that lane. Montpellier, of course, she's a huge fan of Montpellier. Her favorite is La Vie Belle. The Lancome, La Vie Belle. She loves that. That was her favorite before we met. But introduced her to the Coach Sunset or Dream Sunset, the Quimma. There's another one that we just got. She's like the light blues as well too. For women, light blue intense is one of her favorites. Oh, introduced to Jimmy Choo Man, the I Want Chew. That one's really nice. She loves that. Let's see. Say have to come get that out of jail. Oh, y'all talk about that. What you call it? Yeah. You say, how long did you mature it? Let my Jazz Club mature right now. Oh yeah, Jazz Club takes a little while to mature, apparently. Gator, have you smelled that new yesterday? There we go. That new spice bomb yet? I just tried it yesterday. It's actually nice for the warmer days. Yeah, the metallic musk, yes. Got a decant over on the desk right now. I like it. I like it a lot. It smells similar to something else that I had, so I didn't pull the trigger on it yet, but I may end up bringing it in. He said, yes, I have Dream by Coach Montpellier YSL. If you get a chance to get your nose on the Chanel, the Fresh, Fresh, that's my jam right there. That's when I'm getting her coming up, man, and I think she's gonna like it. I'm hoping that she's gonna like it. I know I like it, and most of the people that I'm around were like, "Oh yeah, that's that ish." The Chanel Fresh, and they just dropped an Eau Splendide, but Fresh is good from what I'm hearing. Well, I know Fresh is good, but it's one of those that I'm hoping that she likes. Hoping. Let's see. Key to My Life, Arm Off. Ooh, nice. Nice. Key to My Life. There's a whole Key series, right? D Boogie says, I wore mine yesterday because it was hot as hell and it pushed through almost 8 to 12 hour shift at work. It wasn't strong, but it was still present. That's all you need, especially in your type of job, man. You just need something that's gonna last all day. It's gonna keep you fresh because that sillage is probably still popping, man. If you can smell it after a while, it's still popping. Pacific rock moss, yes, nice, nice. Capricorn said, I don't like that Chanel that much. Yeah. So it's weird because there's a lot of people who are like, oh my God, the Splendide is awesome. The Chanel is awesome. Then there's a lot of people who are like, I don't like it. You are on the side of the I don't like it. And that's okay. That's okay. That is okay. There's a couple of ladies fragrances that I'm bringing in. One was supposed to actually be a kind of inspired by, we're talking about Room 1015 Wave Child. I was inspired by 1015 Wave Child, Anna Abadi Coral. I don't think it's an inspired by it. It has some of the same similar aspects, but Capricorn, Lattafa Anna Abadi Coral. That fragrance is really nice, fresh, fruity. It is a beautiful scent. My girl Tracy Lynette, she actually, I think she was talking about it on a video recently, and I have a decat of it over there, and it's really nice. It is really nice. He said, I have the two Chanels. Yeah, yeah. And Joe says, I got a 10 milliliter of Chanel Le Lion. It's fire. Yes, I hear it's fire. I got to get on some new Chanel too, because I got to get. I've been waiting to drop on my Platinum Ego East. I got to get another bottle of Platinum Ego East. So that's coming up soon for me. Well, guys, I'm about to go ahead and roll out of here because it is time. It is time. I'm surprised my wife didn't come in here and was like, "Look, it's time to eat, motherfucker." Anyway, you know, after I almost burnt the food the other day. What's cracking, Gator later, Rob? What's going on? You jumped in right before I was leaving, man. But I appreciate you stopping in, man. Catch me on the replay. Definitely catch me on the replay, man. But yeah, guys, y'all have a good rest of the evening, man. I am gonna probably jump in. Probably gonna jump in tomorrow night. The review this week is probably gonna be Turin. Turin 31. I did my last wearing on it today, and I spoiler alert, there's some things about this fragrance that I love. And then there's some things about this fragrance that I don't. And I'm gonna kind of break that whole thing down. If you're looking for a Torino 21 inspiration, it's definitely that. It's definitely that. But there are some things about it that are kind of like, and some people might actually like the differences that the two have, because I know some people who would rather, they wished that Torino 21 did some of the things that the Turin does in the opening. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. In the meantime, guys, let me go ahead and roll out, get dinner ready and all that kind of stuff. Whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, make sure you make today the best day ever on purpose. Peace out, everybody. And hit the like button before y'all leave. Hit it. All right, let me see. Don't. Let's see how many likes roll up. See how many likes roll up. All right, that's 2. That's 2 likes. But hit the like button before y'all roll out, man. I'm out of here. Peace out.